Hello friends, it is Alina Alive and I'm a holistic nutritionist that helps women find balance through lifestyle tips, wellness practices, and nutrition advice. And in this video, we're going over 5 ways to get rid of period cramps naturally. So let's get started. All right, so I remember growing up having severe period cramps. Like, when I mean severe, I'm not even exaggerating. And over the years, I was able to find some pretty simple, surprisingly simple lifestyle habits and changes that helped me to drastically reduce the pain. And through my nutrition studies, I've been able to find impactful and very helpful nutrition tips and practices that also helped when I worked with clients that saw drastic differences. So with that said, let's dive into these tips. Now, for more immediate relief for my sisters who are watching this, who are like, I don't care about all of these other wellness habits, what helps me right now? Number 1 would be heat. Placing a hot water bottle or heating pads over the abdomen can really help to relax the uterine muscles and muscles around the area to relax. And this one has definitely been a tried and true home remedy that my mom has used. She's from Cuba, and that has definitely helped me when I really need it immediately. Now, when it comes to supplements and immediate relief that's also natural, I love to go with CBD oil. Now, of course, you should always talk to your healthcare practitioner and make sure that you're okay with this, but CBD oil has helped me so much, mainly because one of the main sources of this inflammation and pain in the abdomen and the uterus is from inflammation. CBD is a great anti-inflammatory oil. Another one that's also really powerful is turmeric. So making turmeric tea with some coconut milk can also help to offer some immediate anti-inflammatory relief that's also natural. Now, number 3 and the last on the list of immediate relief when it comes to period pain is magnesium. Now, magnesium has been one that I have literally seen relief within 30 minutes, like night and day, and I didn't have to take any type of painkiller. Now, this is because, I don't know if you knew this, but over 70% of the US population is deficient in magnesium. And magnesium is a natural muscle relaxer. So when we are deficient in it, it can actually impair our body's ability to relax muscles, especially when they're being overstimulated during our cycle. I'll never forget being on my way to my dorms when I was in college and feeling horrible cramps and knowing that I had powdered magnesium in my room. I actually used Calm at the time, which is a brand that I love. And it was just hard for me to even get to my dorm room. And I got to my dorm room and I was literally in pain on my bed, and I mixed some magnesium in my water and I drank it. And within, I want to say 20 to 30 minutes, they were gone. And it was so wild to me. And that was specifically with the cramps and spasms. That's what it helped with. Moving on to some of the deeper rooted reasons why we experience period pain and some habits that you can start taking on now. That way, during your next cycle and for the long term, you can finally rid yourself of the period pain. The main foundation of that is hormone balance. More specifically, our estrogen to progesterone ratios and the fact that we are exposed to way more unnatural estrogen or xenoestrogens than has ever before been seen in human history. Now, I'm not sure if you knew this, but estrogen is actually considered the contracting hormone. It naturally can stimulate our uterus to contract, and if we have excess estrogen, it can cause that period pain from whether it's the fatigue of the muscles over time or the twinging cramps. Estrogen also causes our breast ducts to enlarge and can also be responsible for that breast tenderness during our cycle, or oftentimes a week before our cycle. Now, these man-made estrogens or xenoestrogens are most commonly found in plastic. That's one of the reasons why we see BPA-free water bottles. But avoiding plastics, even like Tupperware, straws, and plastic containers can also help with reducing our exposure to these xenoestrogens that end up rearing their ugly head during our cycle and causing these more intense period pains. Another way to reduce our estrogen levels is through supporting our liver. One of the main ways that our estrogen is processed and eliminated out of the body on a regular basis is through our liver. But our liver can be overworked on a regular basis. So making sure to eat cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and even Brussels sprouts can help to support our liver in processing these estrogens to eliminate them as soon as possible. I know a lot of times we associate a poor liver or a liver that's congested or that is just not performing well with alcohol. But believe it or not, eating processed foods can also strain our liver. Being dehydrated can tax our liver. So from a nutrition perspective, eating cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts can aid in our liver's ability to process these xenoestrogens and estrogen in general. We gotta de-stress, y'all. So estrogen is mainly responsible, like I mentioned before, for uterine contractions, and progesterone is responsible for uterine relaxation. So when we have healthy ratios of both of these, it can make for a more balanced period that's not full of crazy uterine contractions and period pain. But the average American, especially women, we oftentimes have way more estrogen and not enough progesterone. Now, too much stress can contribute to progesterone depletion. So, taking on stress management tactics like meditation, breathing exercises, talk therapy, and reducing foods and drinks that can overwork our adrenals and hormones, like caffeine from coffee or teas, can actually help a lot with reducing your stress. Two things that personally helped me with my stress was creating a schedule for my week. I am a Gemini and I like to do things like on the spot, on the moment, but a lot of times that contributes to me having to rush all the time, which leads to stress. So having a structured schedule, or at least a general outline where I'm committed to showing up at least 10 minutes early to things, that way I'm not rushing in the car, has helped a lot. Something else that helped me was reducing my coffee and lattes. I love lattes so much, but that caffeine has really overworked my adrenals and my hormones, and I cannot have a good latte or a good coffee without my sugar. And that sugar can also contribute to stress and inflammation. This leads me to my next tip, which is reducing the high sugar and high salt fast foods and processed foods in general. I know that when we're on our cycle, we can tend to crave a lot of the salty and sugary foods, but those are the things that can actually, specifically with salt, lead to severe dehydration, which can increase our period pain. The sugar can lead to a lot of inflammation, especially white processed sugar is one of the main contributors to average inflammation in the body, which also intensifies the period pain. So what I like to do with my clients is not tell them like, you got to eliminate the lattes, you got to eliminate the chips and these things. It's more so looking at ways to replace them and slowly transition into healthier versions of what we already love. So exploring those things, whether it's at the grocery store or looking them up online, can play a huge role in reducing your period pain. Now my last tip is when it comes to herbal medicine, a big topic that's in hand right now is adaptogenic herbs. Now one of the benefits, which are many when it comes to adaptogenic herbs, is its ability to help us balance out our hormones, like for example estrogen and progesterone, which really need to be balanced out. One of the more well-researched adaptogens to mention is Vitex. And Vitex has been well-researched to actually help reduce a lot of PMS symptoms, including constipation, irritability, breast tenderness, depressive moods, and a lot more. And one of the reasons that researchers have found that this works so well with PMS symptoms is Vitex's ability to reduce the hormone prolactin. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here, but if you're interested in more videos like these and diving deeper into your own hormones and your own health as a woman, I actually have a completely private and completely online women's nutrition group program that I'm going to be putting out in the next coming months. That's in current development. So if you're interested, sign up for my email list below. And of course, the best way that you can support the channel is subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications and leaving a comment below with suggestions on videos you'd like me to put up next. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. This is Alina Alive. And remember, life is about the journey and not the destination. So be gentle with yourself. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.